Good morning, everybody. This is the Bart Winkler Show. It's our Monday night YouTube taping, which we'll do throughout May and into June. It's also serving as the Tuesday episode for the May 16th episode of the Bart Winkler Show, of course, wherever you get your podcast. We are live. I will chat with people throughout the show. I've got a few things planned. Brewers are getting their ass kicked by the Cardinals, which we will talk about. That's part of the reason why I wanted to go live after these games, is to talk a little Brewers, but went live last week, and it was after the Brewers crushed the Dodgers. And then tonight, the Brewers are getting smoked by the Cardinals as I'm starting the stream. Holy fuck, it's 18-1. Holy shit. I came down here, it was like 12-1, and I set up for a couple minutes, and now it's 18-1. The Cardinals have put up a 10-run, a 10-run eighth inning. You know, there was this picture going around a few weeks ago, and there was an Athletic article on it. Grant Brisbee wrote it. And it was about some guy in an airplane had this picture of potential rule changes in Major League Baseball. And he says, I don't know who this was. This is a picture that I got from a friend, from a friend, from a friend, from a friend. But all these rule change suggestions happened. They sped up the pitch clock. They limited the shift. It was everything that's happened was on the sheet. And there was one other rule on the sheet, and it was mercy rule. And so if I was doing a 4-hour show on Tuesday morning, I'd talk a lot of Bucks, the coaching search, and how Bud should maybe pull a Costanza and just reclaim his job like he was never fired, because that's the point we're getting at already. But I would talk about baseball if there should be a mercy rule. And I would argue against it, right? I mean, there's so many things like if there was a mercy rule, we'd be robbed of a potential 19-run inning or whatever they need to get it done. But it'd be something to talk about for 15 minutes, and that's really what 4-hour radio shows are all about. What can get me when I start a segment? I'm thinking of two things. One, please God, someone call so I don't have to talk. And then two, get me to the end of this segment. Doing a radio show is fun, but I've never had another job where it's, well, that's not true. I've had a lot of jobs where as soon as I walked into the facility, I was like, get me out of here. But in radio, it's like, I don't know. It's like wanting to be done. It's more fun to be done than it is to be doing it. Or you like doing it. You like being there, but you want to talk as little as possible. I don't know. Jake says, leave it to the Brewers to jumpstart the Cardinals. Garrett says, just hammered the Brewers live money line. I mean, if there's ever a time to do it, and it looks like the game has gone final 18-1. No, what jump-started was my little conversation with Matt Pauley. Matt Pauley, KMOX. The two of us got together on Friday afternoon before a Brewers series against the Royals and a Cardinals series against the Red Sox. And we were both talking about our teams, and the Brewers, could be a little better. The Cardinals were very bad. And the Cardinals have won 4 straight over the last few nights. And I think what Matt was saying is kind of what I think we all felt, is that if you look at the division, yeah, the Pirates were in the lead. But who really scares you? It's the Cardinals. It doesn't matter what their record is. We know the Cardinals, and this would be just like them to try to fool us even more. Oh, look, their catcher signed a big contract, and he sucks now. Well, he won't, and he didn't. Being the record that they had before their sweep was 15 or like 13-25. I tried to do the math in NFL terms, and it took way longer than it should have. But that's like being 2-5 in the NFL. And they're 2-5. Let's say they're 2-5. The Brewers record will put them at about 4-3 at this point in the season with how much there's to play. And that might even be more like 2-4. But there's a lot of season left. And you look at some of the teams that start 2-4 and you think, oh, well, I mean, they suck. They're not going to, that's it. But if you look at the Brewers at 2-4, the Cardinals rather at 2-4, you think, no, they will be better than that. They will go on an 8-game win streak and ruin everybody's fall. And it seems like that could be what they end up doing. Cardinals will probably end up winning the division. Look, everything's pretty tight right now. And, I don't know if people joke when they say don't check the standings till Memorial Day, but there's really not a lot of reason to do it. In terms of like how many back you are. I mean, you could check the standings. You can open up a newspaper or whatever you do to check the standings. That's fine. And you want to be in first place and, see how everybody's doing. But in terms of like what the playoffs are going to look like, yeah, we all know the Cardinals are going to be in contention. And baseball, serves them that way. Look, it's a 162-game season. You can start pretty bad. Now, if you start pretty bad and your team's trying to move to Vegas and nobody's coming to your games and your owner is trying to tank you on purpose, well, then you're probably not going to go on a run. Or if you're the Chicago White Sox who had all the potential in the world and then hired the crustiest old bag they could find in Tony La Russa, well, then that set that franchise back for a long time. But if you're the Cardinals that has more talent than anybody in the division and you start slow, boo-hoo. All it did is it's going to give St. Louis more of a reason to get crazy about their team throughout the summer. I don't know if you guys, this is a Rock the Dome St. Louis Battlehawk shirt on the Dan Shaney stream. This was a coincidence. I'm not trying to prove a point or anything. Talking Brewers, talking Bucks, the Bart Winkler Show. Q is here. Let's talk to Q. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. How's Sober May going? Do you have like a catchphrase for it yet?
Oh, I got hammered on Saturday.
Did you really?
I got fucking blitzed.
No.
Yeah. No, I didn't. I didn't. I didn't drink. I'm still sober through May. I am still sober through May.
Nice.
My drink of choice tonight is water.
Oh.
Yeah.
H2O.
And I have two options for the water. I can either use this Carl's Place koozie.
Nice.
Or Dan Shaney sent me a folder of a bunch of stuff as well, including like a backpack.
Oh.
What else do we got here? A bottle opener, a Dan Shaney engraved bottle opener.
That'll be handy in June.
Yeah, he's gonna save you money on insurance. DanShaney.com. Call him for the bottle opener and a Dan Shaney koozie.
Nice.
So I got the choices tonight, and
you're going with Dan Shaney.
Well, it doesn't fit either way. Still sober in May. Should be able to do it.
I was telling my wife that you were doing it, and she was pretty proud of you. So
I've lost no weight, and I'm really fucking pissed about that. But
you got to pair it with walking. That's what I did.
Well, so God doesn't want me to, because I started to go for a walk today, and right as I got to the end of the block, daycare called, and they were like, "Your son has a fever of 105. He needs to come home."
Oh man, is he all right?
I don't know. I let them deal with it.
You're like,
no, he's fine.
Let him chug the children's Tylenol.
He's fine. I don't think you want to talk Brewers. You want to talk Bucks coaching?
Yeah. So I think last week I said we should rehire Bud, and everybody laughed at me. But now it's popping up all over Twitter. So here's what I want to say about the Bucks coaching search, and I'm glad to talk about this. I think that will be a good chunk of what we talk about. And if I was doing a 4-hour show, one of the things that I would say is we do a topic. Should they rehire Bud? Like, I think that's a legitimate topic. Now, it won't happen, nor should it. But the fact that we're talking about it, I think it's not. They needed to move. I firmly believe they needed to move on from Coach Budenholzer. Now, with Jason Kidd, here's the analogy that I gave, and I'll give it again. The house was on fire. Okay. They had to get out of that house. You don't worry about where you're going to live next because your house is burning to the ground. In this case, though, the house wasn't on fire. There was like a possible carbon dioxide leak. And you're like, well, let's get out and then just bulldoze it. And then you realize, oh, the housing market is fucked. You got nowhere else to live. We're going to be living in a condo or my sister-in-law's or something like that.
I think of all these choices, the last thing I want to see is Monty Williams and Bud swap fucking families. That would be stupid. If
I
Bud
wonder,
goes there, I don't want Monty Williams. I don't want Nick Nurse.
Do you think we could do like a retroactive trade so that we don't have to pay them both twice?
Yeah, they're both going to get a big severance, and they're both going to, and then we're going to be in the finals against them again. It's going to be they're going to do a thing before Game 3 where we're like, did I do again? Did I go here? So I don't want him. I don't want any of these guys. I guess like Sam Cassell. I don't know if he's a good coach. Kenny Atkinson. You know, there's reasons to like some of these people, but they had to move on from Bud, but also there's nobody to hire. So they're fucked.
Yeah. I mean, I would love if they got Steve Kerr. It's not going to happen. I would say at this point, Atkinson is my number 2. And I would say Monty's probably my number 3.
I just do not want Monty at all. I don't want anything about him.
I want him more than Nurse.
I would take Monty over Nurse. I don't want Nurse at all. But I don't want the one guy that Bud outcoached in the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't know. He seems like a good dude. I just want somebody that the players like. I don't think that this team could handle like somebody that's going to come in and like crack the whip and make everybody hate them. So
yeah, don't do that.
So I got a funny fired coach story. So
Ty Lue, someone mentions Ty Lue.
I don't want Ty Lue because he only wants guard heavy rotations, and we do not have that. So so I ran into Larry Krastoviak at a restaurant in Mequon when he got fired, like during the Michael Redd era, and I saw he was drinking a Guinness, so I sent him a beer, and he picked up the tab for my table. And then he came over and said, "Thank you for the beer, but when an NBA coach gets fired, their entire contract becomes payable to them." So he was like, I'm happy I'm getting a big check, and I'm glad to be away from that team because the roster was just so bad. So he paid for our tab that day. So
if you ever see a coach that's fired out drinking, buy them a beer and then just like load up on shots for yourself because it'll all get paid for.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I'll say this. I plan on cheering for any team that Bud coaches next. And I hope it's the Suns because it would be really fun to have them be my West team. So
who do you want to win the finals?
I've been consistent. I want the Heat to win because it will just make us firing Bud look even more dumb. Every game they win, we look like bigger idiots for firing Bud.
All right. Q, if you want to jump back on towards the end, you can.
Sounds good.
I'm going to bring in some more of these fine folks here.
Sounds good. See you, Bart.
See you, Q. Mike on the south side.
Hey, Bart. How you doing? First time, long time caller here.
AKA Josh, former intern. What are you up to right now?
I'm just hanging out in the office here. I hold myself in here. I was like, I might be appearing on this Emmy-nominated show, so I'm going to hold myself in the office and have like a ESPN.
Oh yeah,
what's that show where they accumulate the points and like Woody Page used to be on it? I can't think of what it used to be. Around the Horn.
Yeah, it's called Accumulate the Points.
Accumulate the points, and I'm just going to spew off my takes until I'm eliminated and frozen on the show.
Maybe we should do that. Accumulate the points. Let's do that. Did you, just real quick, after the fine internship you had at the Fan, was that it for your radio career?
Honestly, there was a lot of people, I think you included, that didn't really give me the most positive vibes about working in the radio industry. So I was kind of like, maybe I don't want to do this. And I never worked another media thing after. Even like I wrote for like a couple websites, and I just never did it again. I was like, I'm pivoting completely from this idea. So
do you have any regrets?
Sometimes I'm like, dang, that was kind of fun to do it. But I feel like it was fun to do for a summer for an internship. But I think maybe at some point I like probably would have gotten tired of it. Like the way that sports media is right now, I don't know if that's something that I would like want to be a part. Like that's not what I had going in mind to be a part of, like the way sports media is right now. So I guess in that aspect, I'm not really mad that I got out of it.
Yeah, I gotta clear out a space in my basement while my wife's tending to my sick kid just to pretend I'm a man. All right, so coaching search, where are you at?
Like, luckily there's real sports media out here, like the Bart Winkler Show, that we can latch on to when all that's out there. Turn off Stephen A. Smith and turn on Bart Winkler. But the Bucks coaching search, my whole thing is like if they talk to Giannis and he's like, I want Monty Williams, like I'm good with Monty Williams, then I'm fine with that. If Giannis is fine with that, like whatever he wants, I'm good with. But my issue with Monty Williams is nothing like philosophy-wise, strategy-wise. My issue is I feel like anytime the Suns, like Devin Booker or somebody, they would want a call challenged and they would be like crying to him, and he would just immediately kind of just like look around stupidly with a quarter zip very similar to this, and he would just be like, yeah, timeout, yeah, challenge. And he would just fold immediately to any request, and it always irritated me, and he just seemed like a pushover, and it bothered me. And
well, that's what we have to do. We don't know the exact philosophies of all these guys, so we have to judge on what we can judge. Like, yeah. I thought Jason Kidd would be a great coach because I thought he did something smart and knocked over a glass of water on the floor to buy some time. I was wrong, but that's all I had to judge him on.
That was the only trick he had up his sleeve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do. Monty Williams, he came into the locker room after. I thought that Giannis like had him come in though, but that was still dumb and weird. Monty's always bitching about free throws, even though nobody on his team ever goes to the hoop.
All mid-range.
You've got Devin Booker and Kevin Durant basically trying to play horse against each other to beat the Nuggets, and you want free throws? Nobody's drawn any contact, Monty.
No, and you got like DeAndre Ayton down low, and he's just like the softest.
But if he'll be someone to bitch for Giannis, I guess. But
yeah,
we need more than that in a coach.
Yeah, I don't know. There's, like you said, there's nothing good out there. Like there's only like really like 2 or 3 good coaches in the NBA period. So like nobody's gonna get a top coach unless you just somehow create the next one, which I guess you gotta.
I almost think they should like Giannis's life was already a Disney movie, Rise, which I still haven't seen. But I think they should make a sequel to that and like pluck some high school coach out of obscurity and have him coach the Bucks.
I bet you Racing Case.
Oh no. I'm back.
I was gonna say that was just everything back.
I hit spacebar. I wanted to see what spacebar did.
Racing Case alumni, we could just pluck the coach right out of Racing Case high school basketball, and he could probably get the job done.
Well, my guy Nick Ford led the Fondy Cardinals to their first conference championship in 20-some years.
Bring Nick Ford in. Hire Nick Ford.
Yeah, I think Nick Ford right now is my number one option.
He probably is the best option out of all that's out there.
All right, Josh, good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, good to see you. Have a good one.
Josh, formerly Mike on the South Side, formerly an intern that we railroaded out of the business. HappyPlaceHemp.com. Promo code is Bart, 25% off each and every order that you get from them. The gummies, the CBD and CBN for 99 time. The THC-free ones will help you in the morning. Maybe focus up. The cream's great if you have some ailments or some, like your wrist hurts. Maybe you've discovered that Martha Stewart swimsuit edition. HappyPlaceHemp.com. Promo code is Bart, 25% off. I mean, a man's a man. She looks good. Hot Take Jake. Oh, look at that. Monday Night Wink.
Am I not visible? What's going on here?
Is graphic design your passion?
Yeah, it looks great though, doesn't it?
Monday Night Wink.
Hell yeah, man. I've been waiting, man. Oh, yeah.
Where are you?
I'm going to try to get my face on here, even though I probably look tired as shit right now. Clearly, I did
have you ever
something
seen
wrong.
my face?
No, you look great, man.
Nah.
That little dry out thing you did, it's working, brother.
I'm not losing any weight, Jake.
Yeah, but it's not about a number all the time, man. See, this is what I do for a living is I help people get to their goals, right?
Can I see your face? This is awful.
All right, hold on.
God damn it. Now Jake's in my living room.
I don't know what. I'm going to log off. I'll try to log back. I don't know what the fuck's going on here.
Oh, all right. Well, see you to Jake. Jerry says, now everyone loves Bud. Of course they do. Q says, I'm consistent on the Bud love, which Q has been. I mean, they would never rehire Coach Budenholzer. Could you even imagine? But this is the question. If the Bucks just fired Nick Ford and Bud was available, would we want Bud? Of all the options, would we want Bud? Would we say, oh, look what he's done? I mean, he could be a guy to come in here. Would we want Bud? I still like they didn't make the wrong move per se. It's just there's no move for them to make. But then that means they made the wrong move, right? I was just going to do one of my great analogies and say, it's like you're in a maze and you go the right way, but then you're stuck. But then you didn't go the right way. You went the wrong way. So they got to figure out what to do. Because I don't know that there's any, not that the fan base is the end all be all, but I don't know that there's any decision that gets made by the Bucks and they hire a coach. Like either it's one of these assistants and, we pretend to be happy, or it's somebody that we don't like, or it's someone that 90% of us don't like and 10% of us are like, no, I love that we rehired Joe Prunty. It's going to be something like that. I don't know. Jake's back. We can see him on the...
Hey, there I am. There's my beautiful face.
Right in front of my beautiful face. So you were saying, Jake.
Yes. So I was saying you look great, number one. And the scale is like the most deceptive thing ever. Don't judge yourself by the scale. It means nothing.
I just want to fit in the clothes I fit in 2 years ago.
Well, it's going to take some time, buddy. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither was, Hulk Winkler.
I just thought because of how much I was drinking, to not drink that much, that's all I would have to do.
Well, it's like I said, it's your body weight can vary by like 5 to 7 pounds on a daily basis. So like,
I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I've been pretty blitzed on a lot of these YouTubes.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of wanted to say something, but I'm like, I don't know if it's my place. I don't want to make it weird. I don't want to get dark. There was a few where I was like, oh, I kind of hope he doesn't post this one.
Oh, they're all up there still.
Yeah, good for you. At least, you've got your morals. You stand your ground, man. I appreciate that about you.
Bucks coaching search. And then I want to announce who I am rooting for in the Eastern Conference Finals. This is a big moment.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, first of all, there's like this old rule in professional wrestling that if you take somebody off the card, like they cancel or something, and you have to replace them with somebody that's bigger and better. Mm-hmm. And here's where I think this is going. I think Greg Popovich is going to be the Bucks' next coach. Bam.
And that was hot take. You're never how?
He's a free agent.
Well, he's not.
He is. He's not under contract right now.
No, he's not.
A lot of people are assuming that he's just, if he does come back, it's only going to be with the Spurs. But I'm like, dude, like, what if he wants to win? I don't know, man. I think that's somebody that I'd love to see it. Whether it's too little, too late, as far as him being as old as he is, I'll take that over all the garbage that's been thrown out so far.
So you want a 75-year-old head coach?
I mean,
hey, age is just the number. Martha Stewart's got me tied up in knots today.
Yeah, Martha Stewart, bro, she could still get it. I'm not saying, I'm just saying, but I've had a weird crush on her for like 20 years, so I don't know.
Well, it got a lot weirder after today.
Yeah, I had to do the old double take, like cartoon eyes.
Yeah, Greg Popovich is not under contract.
I don't know. It's weird that like nobody's thrown that out there yet, and I just been thinking about it for a long time. So I don't know. That's my take on that. I think every other guy that's been named so far, I have no interest in, and it's weird that they haven't been linked to Nurse. I assume that was going to be the guy, but at this point, I would say that they have no interest in him in the fact that, I mean, we haven't heard anything. So that's really bizarre to me that they would fire Bud and then roll the dice on all these jabronis that they're throwing out there.
Hot take Jake's here. I'm going to bring Tony in Texas in also.
Yeah, it's my guy.
Hey, are you rocking Stars hat and shirt?
Stars hat.
Holy shit, Tony. Look at your hair.
Stars hat, Stars jersey. Hey, I got to say, there's a new candidate for the job. John Horst gave me a call, Bart. I'm ready. I'm like winning at an 85% clip in the AU market. I mean, I can do this.
Show me your haircut again.
I'm going Rogers.
Yeah, you are. I like it on you.
Nah, I'm going to cut it after the Stars get eliminated or win it all.
I think enough time has passed. I think me and Tony need to go on our victory lap tour right now because we called the Bucks having issues how long ago, and everybody told us to eat shit and we were stupid. So just throwing it out there.
Yeah, you know, Jake, it's sad but true, right? Like the Metallica song. It was just you just saw it coming, man. The car crash was going to happen. The Bucks, they're not diversified in offense. Giannis going as just a bowling ball downhill. That's not gonna work. That's not long-term success. And then the 3-point defense came back to bite him again. And then ultimately Bud lost his job, and he should have lost it 2 years ago, but he got a little lucky and he kept it for 2 years. But he got a nice contract out of it. So,
yeah, good for Bud. I mean, at this point, I'm kind of with Q. Like, if these are the names that we're going to be throwing out there, I would almost rather just be like, hey, you dump that X, and then you're like, I was drunk at the time. I wasn't really thinking straight. Like, maybe that can happen. I don't know.
Q says, eat shit, Jake.
Oh,
he's number one. He should be on his
knees. And then
knees.
he says you can be right and you can still eat shit.
I like Q better when he's drinking.
Is he like that guy from Friends season 1?
Yeah. Hey,
Fun Bobby.
I want my apology. That's all.
Bart, did you go on Grant's show and you were a little lit? I swear you're a little tipsy on that show, Grant's show.
When?
You don't even remember. Friday?
That was 4 p.m.
Yeah.
No, I had woken up from a nap, I think.
Okay.
Tony, I'm sober in May, dude.
Hey, Andy looks good.
Yeah. Well, all right. I thought you're a little lisp going, a little tipsy. I don't know, Bart. I was listening.
I haven't had a drink in 15 days for the first time since I was like.
That must have been their shitty audio equipment or something.
Really?
Huh?
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, good for you, Bart.
Oh, also, I'll take apologies in written form, or you can leave a post on my Twitter. But yeah, just throwing it out there.
Well, Jake, you know what? The Bucks, let's get serious here, though. We got to find a head coach. We got to get this team right. Yes, we were right again, Jake, you and I. We're not happy about it, but as basketball.
I don't like being right all the time.
You guys like feuding with each other for a while?
I mean, come on. A little bit, right, Jake? A little bit here, little jabs here and there. It's all good fun, right?
Yeah.
Go back to that.
Well,
it's the Winkler verse.
You know what, though? Jake and I were united on this. You watch your Marvel movies. We were together, and we got this one right.
So you guys were like Cap and Winter Soldier, and I was Tony Stark.
Quick aside, I wanted to say something about Marvel. Like, I know I've been on a couple of your shows talking shit about Marvel and how awful and dumb and pointless it is now. I loved Guardians of the Galaxy and Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I have zero desire to see this third one. Like, it's not even like an
good.
It's good?
I heard it's good.
I don't care to see it though. Like it's just the story's
Well, then don't
over.
watch it. I'm watching fucking some show called Cloak and Dagger that was on Freeform 8 years ago. Let me have my joy.
Has
You went
anyone
away
done
from
more
Marvel?
with less than Chris Pratt, by the way?
What about Chris Pratt?
Has anyone done more with less? I mean, that guy was just a chubby kid on Community before, Parks and Rec or whatever the hell he was on.
He was Che on the OC when Summer went to college.
Oh God.
All right. I want to know who you guys are rooting for in the
Denver.
Yeah, I'm going Denver too. I don't
Holy
know. You know what? So Jokic didn't talk to you in a post-game interview, Bart. He wanted.
No, it wasn't me. It was the two guys there.
So
I feel for.
You're like Tim Shea and Ryan Braun. I mean,
no, Jokic is all an act. This dude is Russell Wilson.
No.
Only
you're way off.
Wherever he's from.
Denver is the only baby face left in this scenario. That everyone else that's the evil empire. No,
who
thank
wants
you.
to root for Denver?
Like, okay, look, let's break it down.
Yeah.
Here's how I look at this thing.
What joy would I get out of rooting for Denver? I want the Lakers to win.
No, fuck that. Okay, look, here's where I'm at. I look at who, not necessarily who do I want to win.
Because I recently decided that LeBron's the best of all time.
He's not, but no.
You're thinking too.
I look at it this way. It's not who I want to win, because at this point, I don't care if any of those fucking teams win. I'm not cheering for anyone. It's who do I not want to have a ring. So I look at Miami.
I don't want Jokic to have a ring.
Why?
Look at Miami.
Like
okay, I can't stand Jimmy Butler, but I'll give him respect. He's been amazing. I'd be okay with him having a ring. Kyle Lowry and Tyler Hero cannot have rings. That can't happen. Marcus Smart cannot have a ring. Jason Tatum cannot have a ring.
Kyle Lowry already has a ring.
Well, I mean, another one. For this year, for the purposes of what we're talking about, this year, he can't win.
I
Tatum,
just want to say,
Marcus Smart,
I
no.
gotta be an asshole. At age 38, LeBron James playing for 20 years. Is my internet getting shitty?
A little bit.
Can you still hear me?
That or you've been drinking and you're lying.
Can you hear me at least?
Yes.
Okay, I don't care then. At age 38, LeBron is taking this team to the finals once again after playing for 20 straight years. Michael Jordan came back from a 3-year vacation to then play for the Wizards. If Michael Jordan was the greatest of all time, those Wizards teams would have been in the playoffs. And he would have been the worst owner of all time. Well, if LeBron was an owner the way that Jordan was, he'd get run out of the league.
Well, Donald Sterling has something to
Jordan
say
can only play one position. LeBron plays all 5.
I would say this. Whenever there's arguments.
Is better, though.
Michael wins 8 rings in a row if he doesn't have issues with the gambling and got kicked out of the league. Who would have beaten him in 95 and 96? The Knicks, the Magic.
So now not only is Jordan 6-0 in the finals, he's 8-0 in the would-be what-if finals. Great.
Yeah. Play that game. He would have.
Well,
and LeBron would have a final if his second-best player wasn't Zdralskis Ilgaskis.
Hey, let me tell you something, Bart. LeBron shrunk. These 3 moments are some of the biggest moments he's ever, just not shown up. 2010, his last year with the Cavs, didn't show up against the Celtics, had 1 foot out the door. The next year, the following year, didn't even average 19 points. 2011 against my Dallas Mavericks. It just doesn't show up either. And then his last 2 years in Miami, he played okay, but got outplayed by Kawhi Leonard. That's facts. I just gave you 4 examples right there. Now, they were 1 Ray Allen shot away from being a huge disappointment.
How come nothing that Jordan did in the 80s matters to anyone? He got bounced 7 straight years in the playoffs. No one gives a fuck.
What about Giannis' first 7 years? It's the same difference. It's a rebuild.
I'm not comparing him to Giannis. I'm comparing him to LeBron. In the Michael Jordan argument, nobody brings up the first 7 years because once he got over the hump, he constantly won finals.
I just want to interject real quick
between the Heat and the Celtics.
Jake, 1 second. Bart, there are no dynasties right now. There are no dynasties. Back in the 80s.
Warriors.
The Warriors they're a former dynasty, and LeBron couldn't get by him but once. He got by him once, and Kyrie hit the winning shot.
LeBron's
Can
so
I just
good.
say,
The Warriors. LeBron is so good. The Warriors needed Kevin Durant to beat him. Needed him.
I just want to say this is the most tired ass shit ever. But
yeah, but
I
I'm
watched
new
both.
to it because I'm recently a LeBron convert.
Oh, well, I watched both guys play extensively. It's the ultimate in stats versus eye test, and Jordan, like it's not even close. Like when you watch those guys play, Michael Jordan was the boogeyman. It was a given that he was winning, and there was not a thing you could fucking do about it.
Especially in the
nobody.
first 8
I
years
say
of his
this.
career.
He was
Nobody fears LeBron. If I give you, I say, give me the top 5 guys. It's win or go home. Who's coming into your building? Who are you terrified of? LeBron's not in the top 5.
Nobody fears LeBron. The whole bench fears LeBron until the trade deadline hits because they don't know if they're still going to be with their team. Who are you rooting for? Celtics, Heat. I'd like to make my proclamation, and then I'll say goodbye to you both,
Heat,
gentlemen.
I'm going Heat too. I'm with Jake. I'm going Heat. Jimmy Butler. I respect what the guy's done. The guy was a nerd at Marquette, a borderline average player, turned himself into a superstar. I respect that.
I'd like to announce who I'm rooting for.
Bart, you're kind of like Jimmy Butler, a nerd and now a superstar. I really respect that, man.
Oh, thank you. I think that when I turn on the game, my heart will know who I'm really rooting for. Yeah. I think that's like I'll say something now, but then when I turn on the game, it may be one way or the other. I think that what I hate is when we lose, and then the argument is, well, you got to root for the other team because then it makes your loss look worse or better, right? Like if the Heat all of a sudden win, it's like, oh, we lost to an 8 team. Not so bad, right?
Who gives a shit? And I like your philosophy there. It just comes organically. Whatever you feel, you just start rooting for. I agree.
I hate that the Heat beat us, and I hate the Heat. I think that my Celtics Heat was filling my Heat void, and now here's where I think I am, though. In the 2 series, it bothered me more that the Celtics beat the Sixers than it did that the Heat beat the Knicks. And I hate the Sixers, but I was really rooting for them because of how much I hate the Celtics. So I think I'm announcing right now that I will be painfully rooting for the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
Well, I have a theoretical for you because I was just talking about who do I want to not have a ring. I'm so glad the Sixers are gone. Embiid can't have a ring. Fucking Harden can't have a ring. That would just be unbearable. No, thank you.
Well, Jake, I don't want Doc Rivers as the Bucks coach.
No, fuck that. Me neither.
That's why I was rooting for them.
Before I go, I have 2 quick for you.
Okay.
First one, when you take into account coming into the league, Victor Wembanyama is the single greatest prospect in the history of the Big 3 sports. And my second one is Chuck Freeman is a less charismatic version of the big unit. Or
I'm going to say on both.
Yeah, on both.
I'm saying as a prospect. I'm not saying because we don't know what he's going to end up being. But
LeBron was a bigger prospect.
Wembanyama, like as far as what his upside is, bigger than anything we've ever seen in any sport.
I'm going to say no, Jake.
Well, who's better as a prospect coming in?
As a prospect coming in, I mean,
like as far as what their potential upside could be.
For basketball, I think you got to look back at like you say LeBron. I mean, hell,
Thon Maker,
Ralph Sampson.
But here's my thing with a guy like LeBron. There were other guys like him as far as being a prospect, like that big wing that's fast and athletic as hell. Like, there's nobody like Wembanyama, like that.
Yeah, but LeBron
handles the ball. He's 7'4" and he plays like Kevin Durant.
LeBron, but I mean, in all seriousness, the guy's the second best player I've ever seen, and he's built like a tight end. The guy's 6'9". He can pass. He can rebound.
But these are all things you're saying now. I'm saying coming out of high school, it's like, yeah, you expected him to be good.
High school.
What's that?
He was on the SI cover in high school.
I understand that, but like I said, I think
who wrote that article?
Shit. Was it Rick Ryan?
The late Grant Wall.
Grant Wall. Oh yeah, good call.
I just think there's far more guys like LeBron coming in, and there's no comparison for Wembanyama. It's an upside that's never been seen before.
Hey Jake, lastly though, before Bart, you mentioned that
I got one more for you, Tony.
Okay.
Jake, I'm going to say bye to Jake.
Jake,
bye, buddy.
Deuces, buddy.
Tony, did you have one more?
Yeah, Bart. Now, did you allude on your pod today that your mom might have turned some tricks, or was that what were you alluding to?
I don't know. What did I say?
Oh, you said your mom made some extra money. You didn't know where it was coming from.
Well, I never knew where my mom worked.
That's what I was wondering. I think my mom was the same way.
She didn't turn tricks.
She didn't.
Although I guess how would I know? She didn't turn tricks.
Okay. Well, that's interesting because as a kid, you don't know where your mom's coming and going, and food's on the table. You're like, oh, okay, everything's good.
You know what happened one time? I made a offhanded joke that my parents were swingers to like a small group, and that rumor spread through Fond du Lac like wildfire, and it's still burning.
Wow. Hey,
I really fucked over my parents in that regard.
I love the fake movie, going to the wrong movie thing on the pod. That's a great one. I've done that before. I like that one, Bart. That was a good one. I'm going to this movie, but we go to this movie.
And I did the snake eyes punch.
Yeah.
Hey, so you're wearing a Stars shirt and Stars hat.
Yeah, we beat the Kraken today. So
how fresh is we? Like, did you just start watching them today?
I watch them. Out of the 4 sports, obviously it's the 4th one for me because we don't, I follow them though. I go to.
Aren't you more into FC Dallas?
No, but my Arlington Renegades and myself and Vincent from Anaheim, our Renegades, won.
Yep, they won the XFL title. Yep.
So we're titles here in Texas.
Like I feel like I'm 90% sure that Stars quarter zip still has the tag on it.
It does not. It does not.
The receipt's still in the car.
I go to a few games a year, Bart. I'm a big fan. Hey, and lastly, Bart, you mentioned you're on this 90s alt rock type of like mindset right now. What kind of music are we listening to right now? Weezer or what are you listening to?
I was listening to some Weezer. I got the 2 Pearl Jam albums that I'm going to throw back in.
And I love that your first song was the Just Breathe at your wedding?
It was.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Well, good job, my man.
All right, Tony, good to see you, buddy.
All right, we'll talk soon. See ya.
Peace. Tony, big Stars fan. I'm calling cap on most of what he just said, Cone Roller. How are you?
That is such cap. Tony just got that off the Coles rack, no doubt. But I had to come in here and defend LeBron a little bit.
Yeah.
Jake saying that there were other guys like LeBron as a prospect is just might be the dumbest thing I've ever heard on the show. He was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. His games literally had to be moved to different arenas to hold more people. How many high schools can say that has ever happened to them? Unanimous first overall pick.
They were on TV.
Crowned the successor to Michael Jordan at age 16, and the fact that he actually it's arguable that he surpassed him. I mean, imagine that pressure on your shoulders at 16 to live up to Michael Jordan, and then you do.
The fact that he's even the fact that you can even say who's better, LeBron or MJ, that means it's LeBron.
Facts.
That's what I think.
And then Tony mentioning those couple moments where LeBron shrunk. The first 2 were before he won 4 rings and made like 10 straight.
There's that one series against the Celtics where he flat out quit. That was a long time ago. That really pissed me off. I mean, I don't like LeBron when he does this on the floor. He's always always mad.
He sells it, no doubt.
But I guess when I just want the argument to be fair. I just want for people to not hold it against LeBron when he takes shit teams to the finals and then loses. I don't want it to be held against LeBron that they lost to a Warriors team that had to go get Kevin Durant to beat them.
Best team
I don't want it to be held against LeBron that Jordan I mean, like LeBron's career has gone wins, losses. There's been roller coaster to it. Jordan was 6 years of struggle, like a movie, and then 3 championships. He retires. 3 more championships. He retires again. It was a period where he was failing, and then a period where he dominated. And so that means you can just erase everything that ever happened before the 6 championships. But then there was like. He comes back for the Wizards. They didn't even make the playoffs. Make the playoffs. If you're LeBron James, God, fuck, don't do this to me.
Sorry, but it's an easy topic, and you can argue either way. But I mean, I think you got to go LeBron at this point.
LeBron without the whistle is J.R. Rider.
And with that said, the Lakers are my pick for the NBA Finals.
No, I just need him to win the West because before the playoffs, I put 10 on them to win $175.
There you go.
Out of the West. I also placed 10 on the Warriors to win 65. So that obviously did not cash. I don't like Jokic. I don't like the Heat or the Celtics. So I have no choice but to root for the Lakers.
Heat Lakers. Let's go.
And I don't like that it's the bubble.
No, I don't either, but I think it adds a very, very interesting wrinkle. And, credit to the sports talk radio host out there. It's an easy 15-minute segment.
Well, I don't know. I brought this up on Sunday on CBS. I said, it means something. I don't know what it means, though. I know it means something, but does it mean that that was the most pure basketball ever?
Maybe.
Does it mean that
just
I don't know what it means. I'm not a Lakers fan. I am a Warriors fan. I'm not a Lakers fan.
I'm a LeBron fan. Let's go.
Wait, what did I just say?
I don't know.
I'm not a Lakers fan.
Come on, join
I hate the Celtics. I don't want the Heat to win. I hate them. And I really don't want Jokic to win. Like, I'm just not – everyone's fawning over Jokic, and I'm just not getting involved. I don't want the Celtics to win because –
could we take it? Could Bucks fandom take a Celtics ring right now? I think it's pretty fragile. We're pretty fragile right now.
Do you think we should just hire Bud back?
No, I think I don't hate the logic. I like the take. I respect the take a lot. Like, honestly, Q.
I do 4 hours on it on Tuesday if I had to.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I'll probably bring it up. Bill Ryder.
Mikey Day from SNL. I'd take him.
Mikey Day.
Yeah, he looks just like the Heat's assistant coach under Spoelstra.
Oh, he does?
Yes.
Once it says, honestly, once the Woj report or whatever says assistant coach, I'm like, fucking, I don't care.
But I'm curious what goes into a interview between ownership, the GM, and the head coach, prospects. What truly goes into the interview? Because I think football is a little different, but did anybody know of Matt LaFleur? I mean, you knew he was from the McVay system kind of, but who knows? I mean, these assistants, if they know ball, they can coach ball. Let's go. I mean, Charles Lee, let's take a good look at him.
You got any comment on Martha Stewart?
I mean, looking good. I'm a Martha fan. I think her and Snoop are getting a little too commercialized though. You see him
sweating? Holy fuck. Don't look at that.
You'll go out to Target and you'll see 3 or 4 items with Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg on it. So I think they're going a little counterculture, selling out a little bit, but that's just me.
Snoop's in a commercial with Andy Samberg and Karol G. I don't know who Karol G is.
I don't know.
Am I old? I got a text from Tim Shea just now.
Yeah, he texted me too. I didn't read it though.
I woke up to piss 18-1. Oh yeah. Are we talking Brewers?
Yeah. Have you answered the question if Yelich is back yet? What do you say?
We haven't even brought that up.
All right. Well, is he back?
I think Yelich is on the road to being back.
On the road. Okay. I agree.
The home run he hit Saturday, the first one, looked like 2018.
It did. That was a nuke.
Yeah. Is he back? Is he on the road back? Is he on the path back? is he close to being back?
I think he is not back yet, but you just keep stacking months together and we'll see what happens. I mean, I think you can really make a decision probably when All-Star break.
I also got a DM from a radio guy, someone in radio.
Okay.
As I'm doing the show, so I thought maybe someone was watching and being like, "This is what you're doing now, huh?" And he doesn't live in Wisconsin, but he said, "How did anyone in your beautiful state vote for Ron Johnson?" I'm like, "Don't ask me. I don't. What are you doing? Go Google it."
That's an interesting question.
Yeah. What did you do something today?
What do you think of it?
I said that is a complicated answer.
Nice.
Yeah. The GOP convention's coming here.
Yeah. When is that? Is that over the summer?
Next summer.
All right. Summer 20. Well, no. Yeah. Summer 24. Okay.
I don't mind it. I hope
good for business. We probably won't have another Bucks run in us. So Deer District's got to make up some money. They might as well bring in a bunch of conservatives and get them drunk off not Bud Light.
Well, bring all the conservatives you want. I don't want to see these parades where everybody's marching wearing masks.
That was weird. That was suspicious.
How do you rally against masks and then have a parade and then wear a mask?
Well, I've seen a lot of chatter that it was the feds disguised, trying to stir up.
You might be a Fed disguise. You're in a mask.
Maybe. Got to keep eyes on the dark webs of the internet, and the Winkler verse is one of the darkest of them all.
I would agree. Yelly before tonight in May is batting .348, OPS over 1,000, 4 home runs, 4 stolen bases. Some are saying that there might be a direct correlation between Yelly's impact and my sobriety.
Would you stay sober for the rest of the Brewers season for a World Series ring?
Oh, wow. I think I'd have to say yes.
Good. You better. You could do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
What else would I stay sober for? That's a good question. And how long? If the Jets went 0-17 and the Packers won a Super Bowl, I'd never drink again.
That's such cap.
Yeah. By the way, I'm having a hard time because a lot of my favorite Packer reporters, I guess, went to New York with Aaron Rodgers because all they do is tweet about the Jets.
Oh, it is frustrating. I've seen certain members say that who's their D tackle? Quinnen Williams. You know how he took out the Jets in his Twitter bio or whatever?
Sure.
I've seen people say that, oh, Rodgers makes people come play with him. And now that he's with the Jets, they're like saying, oh, it's his fault Quinnen Williams isn't signing with the Jets now. It's broken brain, Bart.
Hey, out of sight, out of mind. I mean, I know I just brought him up, but
I'm cheering for the guy. I mean, if we're cheering for Bud if like Q said, if Bud's going to Phoenix and Q's cheering for him, why aren't we cheering for Rodgers going to the Jets?
What if the Bucks were like, oh my God, we didn't mean to get rid of Coach Bud. We meant to get rid of all the Bud Light we have in our arena. Holy shit.
Bud pro or boycott.
We fucked up. It's the wrong Bud.
Jesus. That you could do something with that. I like that.
There's something there.
Definitely.
All right, Cone, good to see you, bud.
Yeah, you too, Bart. And congratulations on 15 days sober. You're looking great, honestly. You're glowing on the YouTube. So keep it up and talk to you later. See ya.
Well, I don't want to disappoint people when I start boozing again, but I think what I've learned is that I don't need alcohol to enjoy my life. Then I was like scrolling on Instagram or Facebook or something. And then all of a sudden this randomly popped up where it's like this guy, he's like got a bunch of videos of these, but the one that popped up was, hey, you're 15 days sober. You're thinking about having a beer this week, aren't you? I was like, is this live? I am. It's my birthday. I want to have a beer with lunch. Don't do it. Don't do it. That beer will mean nothing compared to the 30-day milestone you're going for. I'm like, Dad? It's kind of weird. I got a Carl's Place voicemail to play regarding this all with the Bucks. Carl's Place, Carl of et.com/Bart. Jerry says 15 days means we're one day closer to Bart being back. Oh, no. Come on. Come on, you nasty. I have been sleeping more than ever. My body's in total shock. It does not comprehend what is occurring. Carl of et.com/Bart. Golf simulators galore. That I already showed you this, but the koozie I got. Yeah, Carl's Place koozie. I'm sure you can pick up one of those. BartWinklerShow.com, the website. Let me just play it off my phone here. Got a couple of Martha Stewart picks to scroll through. All right, here we go. Spark Guy, 402-915-BART.
Bart, Spark Guy here. Just giving you a call first with a small news update and then some Bucks talk. Small news update for Vincent and Anaheim. They'll probably hear this on the 4th of July weekend maybe. But XFL cameraman is okay. I did track down a throwaway tweet that says he was released, all tests were negative, he has a concussion.
Oh, good.
But he'll be okay. So I wanted to let the two biggest XFL fans know that.
Good. I thought he was dead.
Yeah, it's kind of stayed away for a couple weeks. That was a hard end of the season. I think we all felt that way. I don't care about the Brewers, the Packers stuff, whatever. But Bucks really kind of coming to my conclusion, and I think from it all is it's always going to be about Giannis. How does he perform? How does he develop? And I get a lot of comments from people of, it takes more than one person. Well, of course. But there's a bandwidth of okay decisions to great decisions they can make. And as long as they make okay to great decisions on everything, it's going to be up to him. If they make all poor decisions, yes, there's a small percentage chance catastrophe across the board. It all falls apart, it leaves. But if they're okay to great, it's going to come down to him. And I really haven't heard a lot of talk about, well, no, I'll give credit to Hot Take Jake. The missed free throws, man. I mean, that really was bigger in doing them in than anything, and it's getting the least amount of discussion. So his free throw game, and I think he's at the point in his career where back to the basket, he's got to figure out some kind of post game that he's never had. So, yeah, it's going to come down to a great one, but I have confidence in him. So as far as the coaching search, again, I'm not as invested as some other people. My take and my prediction is this. They're interviewing every retread alive. They're uncovering every stone. I think that then leads to a young assistant. Maybe not Charles Lee, but someone with the players. But I would put my peg on one of the assistants these 4 teams left. Likely maybe that Heat guy, but that's where I think they're not going to go with the retread. They're going to go with that. So you take care, Bart. Bye.
All right, Spark Guy, good to hear from you. As always, 402-915-BART. There is a tweet from Adam McKelvey, an update, and I guess this means I'm going to start drinking again because Yelich is hurt. Counsel on whether there was anything more than the lopsided score to Yelich's exit in the 7th. His back's been a little tight, and we're just being careful with the score, okay? Don't know if he'll be in or not, but take that for what it's worth. By the way, congratulations to the Brewers. Luke Voigt is on the injured list. The Brewers signed Darren Ruff. Darren Ruff, all I know about him is every time he's on a team, he's 36. He's played for the Phillies. He went overseas to Korea, then played with the Giants and the Mets, and the Giants again. Every time he's on one of those teams, their fan base treats him like we've been treating Luke Voigt. Can the Darren Ruff experiment end? Now he's 0 for 1. He came in as a pinch hitter in his Brewer debut. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Freddie Peralta got tagged for 6 earned tonight. Gus Varlin got tagged for 9. My God. And then Mike Brousseau came in, which you have to be down like 17 runs to put in position players now, and that's what happened. Brewers still have the Cardinals Tuesday and Wednesday. I do like that last week I did this, and people are like, you can talk Brewers, and then this week it's like, we know basically we're just on Mondays. Wade Miley Tuesday, Corbin Burns against Wainwright on they got a lefty tomorrow. Great. Wade Miley, Jordan Montgomery Tuesday, Corbin Burns, Adam Wainwright Wednesday. Basically, these Monday shows are going to be a check-in on where we're at with the Bucks, I think. And maybe the Packers. Any Packers news? No. The NFL, how about the NFL throwing a game on Peacock? A playoff game. They're making a big deal about Black Friday, like they're inventing Black Friday. Or they're adding a day of the week. Like, hey, Black Friday, there's going to be a football game. Okay, there's already a shitload of football games. You're just going to have an NFL game on too. What's the big deal? Well, it's going to be on Amazon. You can shop on there. Holy fucking great. I bought shoes the other night watching the XFL game. What are you supposed to do? And then that's a big deal. And then 6 days later, they go, by the way, playoff game on Peacock. Like everyone's, well, it's still available in their home markets. It's a playoff game on Peacock. I have Peacock, so I don't give a shit, but I'm paying $5 a month for it. The Black Friday game you're going to be able to watch for free, even if you don't have Prime. You just have to download the app. You just download Prime Video and watch it. And eventually more of these things are going to go to these streaming services, and it's hard to keep up with. But if you don't, you just fake an email and, Tim, if you're there, you're there. I know you're in bed. I'm about to sign off, but if you're there, you're there. Don't you jump in on the comments and then not show me your beautiful face as you're laying in bed as you got up to pee. It's 10:22 right now. Tim's got to work in 4 hours. Nah, fuck Tim. Just go back to bed. I don't want to disrupt you. What an awful schedule. Hey, money's money, Oh, you got to bust it where you can bust it. Plus, I don't have a plus for that. Do want to thank Omaha Steaks. Yeah, go back to bed. They got the Father's Day sale coming up, so check that out. It's the packages that you don't love from Omaha Steaks, the ribeyes, the tenderloins, the apple tartlets, the burgers, the jumbo franks. Promo code is BART. Minimum may be required for the order, but really, if you order a package, you should be good. Get $30 off. Promo code BART there. And I think we are good to go. We'll do this week. Still have Horvat's and my win-lossing of the Packers schedule. I believe the Western Conference Final starts Tuesday night. I will be fully rooting for the Lakers. I believe I am rooting for the Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals. I'll know more when that game starts. But if Celtics have the home court advantage, then I'll absolutely start to root for the Heat because I don't want them to win. And I think what it comes down to is like Bill Simmons, who I like and have always read. And I used to print out his columns and, read them on the shitter. But, man, the just Boston fans, I just can't handle it. Heat fans, I mean, they thought they were getting Giannis. They probably think they're going to again. Heat culture is such a made-up piece of shit. God, fuck, I don't want either of them to win. I would have ended up rooting for the Sixers over the Heat. And I think the Sixers are trash. I don't know why I care so much about the Sixers. They could have had Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum if they just drafted them. But they didn't. Brewers lose. Tony's Stars win. And I'm out. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Great to be with you. Live again next Monday after Brewers and Astros. All right, see ya.